This guy looks just like the ice elf that I encountered in the dungeon before, and I was frustrated because I couldn't extract the shadows of this ice elf. The Frost Monarch exhales cold air from his mouth, instantly freezing Jin-Woo's arm, and finally breaks free from his chokehold. This angers Jin-Woo, who summons a dagger and easily blasts away the ice. But the Frost Monarch taunts him from a distance. "I'm afraid you don't have time to settle that fight with me today. Aren't you here to save the human upstairs?" Only then does Jin-Woo realize the situation and look up to see Chairman Go collapsed on the ground, his chest pierced through. The Frost Monarch summons another ice sword and aims it at the barely breathing Chairman Go. Jin-Woo rushes to use the ruler's authority to control the ice sword, but the enemy's magic power is too high and he can't change the sword's trajectory. With desperation in his eyes, Jin-Woo throws his dagger at the Frost Monarch's ice sword, but it manages to evade the attack. Just as Chairman Go is about to be hit, Jin-Woo uses his incredible speed to block the sword in the nick of time, changing its attack path. The Frost Monarch summons a portal to escape. Jin-Woo, enraged, throws several daggers and summons his full strength to pierce the hateful enemy, but only inflicts minor damage. The Frost Monarch escapes, not forgetting to announce his name again. Helplessly, Jin-Woo can only watch him leave. However, saving Chairman Go is the priority now. Jin-Woo loudly calls for Baru, who senses his king's call and rushes to the scene. Jin-Woo orders Baru to save Chairman Go at all costs, but even with Baru's top-tier healing abilities, he can't completely heal Chairman Go, whose life force continues to weaken. The elixir of life is their last hope. Suddenly, Chairman Go stops Jin-Woo and quietly tells him, "Thank you for coming." Unfortunately, the power of the attack was too strong and no one can save me. This time, I finally felt the will of those supreme beings. We and they face a common enemy. Thankfully, you have the power to confront them. Turns out the existence of the gate and dungeons is not for their own sake, but to protect us. One day, you'll have to make a choice, and I hope you'll stand on the side of humanity. I wanted to fight alongside a young person like you, but that was never going to happen. Not with a body like this. But I don't regret entrusting the future to young people like you. Meeting you is my greatest fortune, and I can leave with peace of mind. As the last tear falls from Chairman Go's eyes, his grip on Sung Jin-Woo's hand weakens, and everything around them begins to shatter. In silence, Chairman Go passes away peacefully. Sadness always brings rain, and the cold wind carries endless rain. Continuous autumn rain and various news headlines dominate the front pages of newspapers. Not only Chairman Go, but 2 other top hunters have also been killed recently. The news of the world's top hunters being killed becomes an even higher level terror event. At Chairman Go's funeral, Jin-Woo stands silently to the side, but the chief behind him, Chief Woo, can't help but worry. The once handsome Chief Woo is now mentally drained, and even an umbrella can't hide his sadness. He can't believe that Chairman Go has left his beloved homeland. Chief Woo then thanks Sung Jin-Woo for accompanying the chairman in his final moments. He vows to personally kill the one responsible for Chairman Go's death and accepts Chief Woo's gratitude. Although Jin-Woo appears calm, his heart is burning with rage. The scene shifts, and Jin-Woo holds a press conference, informing everyone that a powerful group of magical beasts has targeted top hunters around the world. They are stronger than any hunter, and will do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. Hey, if you worry about becoming a target, stay with your companions. If you can't find companions who can protect you, please contact me through the Korea Hunter Association as soon as possible. As time goes by, the war with the various monarchs has quietly begun. After the Frost Monarch successfully attempts to assassinate Chairman Go-Gun-hee and escapes, he immediately gathers the other monarchs to inform them of the news that the Shadow Monarch has attached himself to Jin-Woo. Moreover, compared to the power of the Radiant Shards, the Shadow Monarch poses an even greater threat. The Frost Monarch hopes that everyone can help him eliminate Jin-Woo. However, the man who killed Christopher says that fighting the Shadow Monarch is suicidal, as his strength is at the pinnacle of the world. They should wait for the arrival of the Monarch of Destruction, the Dragon King, Antares. Despite his injured shoulder still causing pain, he is unwilling to flee without a fight. Some of the monarchs, thinking of the Shadow Monarch's terrifying control, refuse the Frost Monarch's request. As they leave, they kindly remind the stubborn ones that the Shadow Monarch and the Architect seem to have some unspeakable secrets, advising them to be cautious. At this moment, Beast Monarch confirms again whether Jin-Woo is indeed just a human. The Frost Monarch takes out the short sword that hit him, stating that a true monarch wouldn't poison a weapon. Another female monarch, Monarch of Plagues, agrees, saying that if the Shadow Monarch had taken control of a human body, he wouldn't resort to such tricks. Thus, the three monarchs reach an agreement and prepare to join forces to eliminate the current threat. The scene shifts to Jin-Woo, standing on a rooftop observing something. He sends out all of his shadow soldiers to check every corner of the city, determined to find the Frost Monarch who plotted against Chairman Go. However, as the giant monarch says, all monarchs and rulers are spirits without shadows, which indeed makes them an excellent defense against the pursuit of the Shadow Army. Nevertheless, Jin-Woo doesn't care, as he is a hunter who never lets go of his prey. Meanwhile, the Hunter Association is grieving the loss of Chairman Go and hasn't yet chosen a successor. After everyone discusses, they agree that Woo Jin-Chil is the best candidate, even though Woo himself finds it sudden. However, Woo's efficiency, interpersonal relationships, and influence among the hunters have been noted by the higher-ups. Feeling embarrassed, Woo believes he is too young compared to his predecessors, including the vice chairman and various directors. He thinks he is not qualified to be the successor, but everyone smiles and says, "You possess the outstanding ability to lead our nation's hunters, and you'll have a good relationship with the Ajin's guildmaster, Sung Jin-Woo. Chairman Go has a good relationship with you, and even if you feel reluctant, they hope you will seriously consider becoming his successor." Chief Woo reluctantly accepts the proposal. The scene shifts to Thomas Andre and his secretary heading to the guild's underground warehouse. Along the way, the secretary hopes that Thomas will carefully consider whether he should really give such a precious treasure to Jin-Woo. Thomas smiles and counters, "Do you think the lives of our guild members aren't worth this much, or do you think Sung Jin-Woo doesn't deserve this treasure?" As the warehouse door opens, even the top-level protective shield cannot conceal the powerful magic of the treasure. After all, it is one of only 2 such items in the world. The secretary asks Thomas again if he really intends to give such a precious item to Sung Jin-Woo. Thomas believes it would be a shame for such a valuable top-tier weapon to be buried in a warehouse, don't you think? Jin-Ah watches the recent turmoil in the world and looks back at her busy mother. She quietly hugs her mom and begins to act spoiled, telling her mother that she wants to move, but her mother says she really likes it here. In fact, her mother is still looking forward to her husband's return. After this, Jin-Ah goes to the balcony for some fresh air, but when she looks at the sky, she panics and runs back inside to call her mother out. The scene changes, and the media reporters are gathered around the Ajin Guild building, looking up at the office tower as if waiting for someone. It turns out that Thomas Andre has come to visit, making Jin-Ho, our little brother, so nervous that he is almost suffocating. The surrounding staff can't believe it. The renowned Thomas Andre is sitting in their guild office, and even the strongest hunter in Germany, Lennart Nierman, has come. The 2 top hunters have been sitting there for 2 hours already. "Where on earth did you go, big brother? Why haven't you come back yet?" As if on cue, everyone calls out to Jin-Woo like a savior. No wonder there are reporters downstairs. 2 big shots have arrived. After a long time, the 2 who became acquainted through a fight finally meet. Jin-Ho worries about whether they will start fighting again. Thomas has come with a simple purpose, to give Jin-Woo a thank you gift, which sparks Jin-Woo's interest. Jin-Ho beside him almost faints, afraid that the gift is a bomb. At this time, Lennart Nierman steps forward to politely greet them, probably seeking shelter from Jin-Woo. But Thomas unreasonably blocks him, wanting to have a private conversation with Jin-Woo, and tells him menacingly that the upcoming chat is top secret and not for outsiders. Thomas leaves with Jin-Woo. Finally, Thomas and Jin-Woo have dinner together as they wished. Thomas then instructs his men to bring up the gift. The packaging and presentation seem impressive. Thomas personally opens the safe and presents this unique top-tier treasure to Jin-Woo. Feeling the magic of the two daggers, Jin-Woo immediately recognizes that they are made from the bones of the dragon Kamish. Thomas introduces the origin of the daggers to Jin-Woo. At the time, after defeating the dragon, he took its sharp teeth and kept them because their size was just right to be made into two daggers. He never thought they would come in handy now. Jin-Woo picks up one of the daggers and looks at the system introduction. It can increase attack power by 1,500 points, while the Demon King's dagger only adds 220 points. It's truly incredible. Jin-Woo then starts playing with the daggers, and the terrifying magic fluctuations make Thomas worry. Even if he strengthens his body and increases his defense, he can't withstand the attack of this top-tier power. He jokes with Jin-Woo, "You're not planning to use the gift I gave you to take me out, are you?" Indeed, only under the use of top-tier hunters can the top-tier weapons shine their brightest light. Just holding them in Jin-Woo's hand, the terrifying magic makes everyone present feel a suffocating sensation. Thomas happily asks his secretary, "What do you think? Do you still believe my choice is wrong?" Jin-Woo can't believe that Thomas would give him such a valuable gift. When Thomas says that this token of gratitude is not enough to repay his kindness towards the Scavenger Guild, Jin-Woo can only accept it gladly. As soon as the words are spoken, both Jin-Woo and Thomas feel the terrifying magic fluctuations. They quickly get up and rush to the city outside, where pedestrians and vehicles on the streets have stopped. Everyone is looking at the sky in horror. Is that the magic gate gathering in the sky above the capital? Even Thomas finds it unbelievable, as it's dozens of times larger than the gate from the Dragon World. The changes in the world have now exceeded human understanding. This enormous gate, like the arrival of the apocalypse, looms over the entire city. All the people are both terrified and curious, taking out their phones to capture the eerily quiet surroundings, with only the magic fluctuations of the gate humming. The doctor who convened the international conference before has already warned everyone that the appearance of the gate due to magic gathering is just the beginning. More and more large gates will appear, and all they can do now is pray silently, hoping the ending won't be tragic. At this moment, Jin-Woo and Kaizul arrive in front of the gate. The terrifying magic continuously disperses, and he is blocked off by a wall from entering the gate. Perhaps the things inside are also unprecedented. Having family and friends here, Jin-Woo swears to protect the city by any means. Then, a phone vibration comes from Woo Jin-Chol, who should now be called Chairman Woo. Earlier, Jin-Woo asked him to investigate the global satellite scan results, and new discoveries have been made. So far, the super-large gate has appeared for 3 hours, and no other gates have appeared worldwide. This is definitely not a coincidence. To avoid causing public unrest, Chairman Woo is now organizing personnel to carry out phased relocation actions. Jin-Woo thinks that even if he can't do anything, he should at least prepare for tomorrow. The scene shifts to the Hunter Association Gymnasium, where Baru is training with Jin-Woo. However, no matter how much Baru accelerates, he is easily dodged by Jin-Woo. Even a powerful strike is directly caught by Jin-Woo. This makes Jin-Woo somewhat dissatisfied, feeling that Baru hasn't given his all. After all, Baru is facing his revered king, and his absolute loyalty prevents him from doing so. Jin-Woo understands that only Baru can make him sweat, so he tells Baru not to restrain himself and fight boldly. Baru responds with a phrase that makes Jin-Woo feel somewhat embarrassed, wondering if Baru secretly goes out to eat humans somewhere. With that, he adjusts his stance, ready to give his all. Now, Baru has been promoted from a general to a commander level, and his strength is on par with national-level hunters. And so, the warm-up battle between the two begins. As expected, reaching the commander level is different, which somewhat satisfies Jin-Woo. However, he can still easily handle Baru's attacks. To provoke Baru, Jin-Woo tells him seriously that there can only be one commander in an army. Once Egress and Greed reach the general rank, it will take no time for them to reach the commander rank. If Baru doesn't want to be replaced by them, he needs to be more serious. Upon hearing this, Baru suddenly has an unprecedented sense of crisis. With the verbal provocation and fighting his revered king back and forth, Jin-Woo still feels it's not enough. Although Baru is the strongest existence in the Shadow Army, he is no match for those monarchs. Jin-Woo decides to suppress Baru further, encouraging him to strive harder. With that, he throws a heavy punch, sending Baru flying. Unexpectedly, as soon as Baru is knocked down, he immediately adjusts his posture, kneeling in front of Sung Jin-Woo, saying, "Your Majesty, I am continuously amazed by my king's mighty strength." Jin-Woo replies, "Well, it seems I can't let you watch TV dramas for a while." Upon hearing this, poor Baru is almost in tears. However, the biggest problem arises. The ruined state of the entire Hunter Association gymnasium makes Jin-Woo somewhat anxious. He hurriedly calls Chairman Woo to apologize and says he will have his aunts work to restore the scene. The scene changes to a luxury hotel in Seoul, where Thomas Andre holds a small glass of wine. He has no plans to leave yet. Seeing the massive gate in the sky, he can't help but feel his heart race with excitement. Whether it's the gate, the wrath of the dragon Kamish, or the dust and powerful forces, everything looks so beautiful and captivating in Thomas's eyes that he can't help but want them for himself. His secretary teases him, saying that even the famous Thomas Andre has things he can't obtain. Thomas thinks that since there are no other gates appearing, there's no need to go back. However, the Hunter Management Bureau of the United States is very worried about Thomas's safety, which makes him laugh. How interesting. Is there a safer place in the world than being with Jin-Woo? He wants to witness firsthand whether this crisis will be the end of human history or the beginning of a new era. Under the guidance of the Korea Hunter Association, people are evacuating in batches, making humanity seem so insignificant in the face of disaster. At this time, little Jin-Ah is asking her mother why they aren't packing and evacuating. She's unwilling to die at such a young age. Her mother replies calmly, "Jin-Woo will protect us just like your father did back then." Meanwhile, Jin-Woo is still outside, searching for the other monarch's auras. As the apocalyptic gate looms before him, the things he must protect are increasing. Can this really end without casualties? Elsewhere, a man who has just awakened as a B-rank hunter walks down the street, reminding himself that he's a B-rank hunter now and doesn't need to be afraid even if monsters appear. As he thinks this, he bumps into someone. This person starts picking a fight with him immediately. They say that newborn calves are not afraid of tigers, but the person he bumped into is one of the fearsome monarchs, the Beast Monarch. The clueless man begins to lecture the Beast Monarch on the street, urging him to apologize. However, it's all too late. The Beast Monarch lunges forward, biting off the man's head in front of everyone, and spitting out blood with disdain. Before anyone can react, he unleashes a powerful attack, destroying everything in the vicinity. Innocent people are sent flying. As the dust settles, he excitedly tells everyone, "Listen up, you lowly humans. Your time has come. I am the king of beasts, the Beast Monarch. As of now, I will start hunting you, and none of you will escape." At this moment, Chairman Woo receives news of a monster attack even before the gate breaks. With the gate about to break, this situation is very concerning. Moreover, he is unable to contact Jin-Woo right now. Just as Chairman Woo is about to personally handle the situation, he is informed that a hunter has started fighting the invading monster. The area is in chaos due to the Beast Monarch's rampage. The nation's top hunter, Leonard Nierman, appears as if it's fate. He wonders if he has been kept in this country to hunt the monster in front of him. As he is about to take action, Thomas Andre pushes him aside, telling him not to get in the way. Chairman Woo finally manages to contact Jin-Woo and informs him of the situation in the city. Upon hearing that there is only one monster, he feels that something is not right. He has already arranged for the Shadow Army to guard the hunters and the city, so why hasn't he received any signals? It seems that the connection signal to the Shadow Soldiers is being interfered with by something, making it extremely weak. Furthermore, he cannot locate or switch positions with the Shadow Soldiers. Could this be the work of another monarch? At the scene, the battle between Thomas Andre and the Beast Monarch is about to erupt. The enemy approaches, its powerful and terrifying magical aura reminiscent of a starving beast. Thomas quickly instructs nearby hunters to escort the civilians away from the area. It's just a beast, daring to act so wildly in front of Thomas Andre. The Beast Monarch's excitement makes its expression even more grotesque and terrifying, and Thomas no longer holds back, enhancing his body and entering combat mode. A collision between two terrifying forces is about to happen, with the Beast Monarch initiating the attack. Thomas Andre is, after all, a force to be reckoned with. He lands a punch on the Beast Monarch. Surprisingly, the Beast Monarch manages to counterattack. Targeting Thomas's waist, Thomas retaliates with a powerful swipe, slamming the Beast Monarch into the ground. The Hunter Guild is orderly, escorting civilians to safety, while reinforcements, including Choi Jong-in and Baek Yoon-ho, are sent to the battle site. Choi Jong-in worries, will everything really go smoothly? The nation's power hunter, Thomas Andre, is fighting an unknown monster with overwhelming pressure that has never been felt before, even during the Jeju Island operation. Thomas seems to dominate the Beast Monarch, sending it flying with just one punch. Amidst the smoke, the Beast Monarch uses a building for leverage and excitedly lunges towards Thomas. A headbutt directly hits Thomas's abdomen, but as a national power hunter, he won't be easily defeated. He grabs the Beast Monarch's body and slams the beast into the ground. Before Thomas can catch his breath, the Beast Monarch lands a powerful kick, angering Thomas. At this point, the White Tiger Guild arrives at the scene, with everyone astonished by the intense battle. As the smoke clears, the Beast King walks forward, laughing, while Thomas activates his ultimate enhanced form. Everyone excitedly watches the legendary top hunters in action, but the real crisis has just begun. The Beast Monarch's body starts to change slowly. Baek Yoon-ho hurriedly transforms his body. However, as the Beast Monarch passes by him, a terrifying sense of oppression washes over him, making it hard to breathe. His animal instincts tell him that he must not become this creature's prey, and he doesn't even dare to make eye contact with it. At this moment, the Beast Monarch uses telekinesis to lift surrounding vehicles into the air and hurls them at Thomas. Thomas doesn't back down and uses his power as a ruler to catch the arrogant creature. He then gathers his strength, raises his fists, and slams the Beast Monarch onto the ground, serving it a full-course meal of pain. However, despite the seemingly smooth progress, an overwhelming sense of unease washes over everyone, as if there's no chance of winning. Suddenly, the Beast Monarch tightly grasps Thomas's swinging fist, berating the audacity of a puppet created from a mere fragment of brilliance. The Beast Monarch claims to have seen through Thomas's tricks long ago. In the midst of speaking, the Beast Monarch instantly transforms, making even Thomas look like a child in comparison. Just like that, the Beast Monarch brutally assaults the national power hunter Thomas Andre in front of everyone. Even the Shadow Soldiers hidden within Thomas's shadow are directly pulled out and mercilessly crushed by the Beast Monarch. At this point, Thomas is being suppressed. Baek Yoon-ho overcomes his fear and charges forward, choking the Beast Monarch's neck and creating an opportunity for Thomas to counterattack. However, the power gap is too wide. The Beast Monarch grabs Thomas's head with one hand, swings him into the air, and brutally smashes him into the ground. Just as the Beast Monarch is about to bite Thomas to death, a magic attack interrupts his evil deed. In the distance, it's the top fighter of Germany, Reinhard Nierman. He stands in front of the unconscious Thomas, and even though he is no match for the Beast Monarch, he uses all his magic power, vowing to fight to the death. After all, he is a hunter, and even if this is the last day of his life, he doesn't regret the choices he's made. Rather than living a humble life, he'd prefer to die with dignity. But the enemy he faces is the Beast Monarch. The overwhelming pressure makes it impossible to move forward. Just as the Beast Monarch is about to attack, a large mouth suddenly appears and bites the creature. It's Kaisel, the flying dragon. Though Kaisel is eventually crushed by the sharp claws of the Beast King, he creates an opportunity for Jin-Woo. Jin-Woo descends from the sky, delivering a powerful flying kick that smashes the Beast King to the ground. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief with Jin-Woo's arrival. Jin-Woo asks Reinhardt to take Thomas to a safe place for treatment, while he himself will deal with the infuriating enemy. The Beast Monarch, furious that his prey is slipping away, unleashes his murderous intent. Jin-Woo then senses the presence of other monarchs, and the enemies are amazed that a mere human can possess such power. The insect monarch even threatens to savor Jin-Woo's taste. As Jin-Woo's gaze turns fierce, the most despised Frost Monarch also reveals himself. At this moment, Jin-Woo can no longer tolerate it and decides it's time to settle the score for the plot against Chairman Go Gun-hee. Greed, Igris, and other high-ranking soldiers rush toward the Frost Monarch, who calmly gathers his energy and releases a freezing breath. In an instant, all the Shadow soldiers are frozen, and even Jin-Woo is forced to retreat from the attacks. The Frost Monarch taunts triumphantly, "With just these ragtag soldiers, you want to fight against us? With my binding, not a single one of your soldiers will be able to move." Even if the Shadow Monarch is the most powerful among all the monarchs, you shouldn't underestimate the strength of other monarchs, especially since you don't possess the true power of the Shadow Monarch. Wouldn't it be better to surrender? Jin-Woo doesn't bother listening to the Frost Monarch's nonsense. The grudge for Chairman Go Gun-hee must be avenged. Jin-Woo holds the daggers given to him by Thomas, and his terrifying magic power spreads outward, causing the Frost Monarch to become somewhat flustered. Jin-Woo points forward and says fiercely, "Today is your demise." Facing the Insect Monarch's army of undead, Jin-Woo still struggles a bit. At this moment, a massive ice figure lunges at him, but Jin-Woo doesn't hesitate to strike it down, severing its neck. Jin-Woo has been waiting for this moment for a long time, and the Frost Monarch realizes that today, everything will be settled. Jin-Woo uses the counterforce to launch an attack on the Frost Monarch, but the Beast Monarch appears in his way, showing no respect for Jin-Woo's intentions. The two sides fight back and forth, and the Beast Monarch arrogantly says, "You don't really think that a piece of broken iron can hurt me, do you?" Despite the Beast Monarch's arrogance, Jin-Woo doesn't back down and manages to chop down one hand of the Beast Monarch. The Insect Monarch sees the situation turning against them and hurriedly casts spells to support the Beast Monarch, making the situation even more difficult for Jin-Woo. Facing the onslaught of the three great monarchs, Jin-Woo feels somewhat overwhelmed. At this moment, Baru finally breaks free from the ice, cursing all the way as he rushes back to Jin-Woo's side. Seeing this, the Frost Monarch becomes alarmed, wondering how a mere human can possess a Shadow Soldier of the army commander level. After all, Baru was once the Ant King. The angry Bug Monarch wants to teach the ungrateful Baru a lesson, but he underestimates Baru's strength. Baru easily deflects the attack and angrily shouts, "Crazy woman, get out of the way!" As Baru kneels before Jin-Woo, he starts to unleash a torrent of words. Facing such powerful enemies, Jin-Woo has managed to hold his ground without being suppressed. Baru expresses his endless admiration for his monarch, saying, "Your Majesty, you truly deserve our utmost respect."